Hi, Mark. It is Wednesday, June the 10th, just after 9 a.m. Eastern. That's just after 1 p.m. GMT. US session well underway. Let's have a look at the performance of the US dollar. And there you see the red candlestick to start during the Asian European session. Fight back by the US already. I've got support at 99.50. I've got resistance at 99.76. We had CPI data released this morning. Numbers pretty much according to consensus, a little bit tilted to the downside, bearish on the monthly numbers. US dollar sold off. But as you can see, and what we've seen for the past few days, that's why we see the wicks at the bottom of the bodies, US dollar fighting its way back. I've got resistance 99.76. That's the level buyers will look to test through the US session. If we do see the US dollar fight back continue, support at 99.50, that's the level sellers will be looking to test on the downside. Let's have a look at the majors, starting on the Euro US. And there you see was a solid green candlestick, buying euro, selling US dollar, weak US dollar. There's the fight back, the wick left behind, that's selling euro, buying US dollar fighting its way back. Intraday resistance 115.65, and I've got support at 115.31. So we'll see now that the US session is underway. If we see what we have seen the past few days, weak US dollar to start, and during the US session, US dollar fight its way back, and that would see this green candlestick get erased, the small body that's left behind, and sellers look to test this support on the downside. Let's have a look at the pound against the US. Similar picture. There you see last few days we've seen pound strengthening against the US dollar, some US dollar weakness. We'll see if that can continue today. I've got support at 133.67, and I've got resistance at 134.07. Buyers of pound, sellers of US, that's weak US dollar, would see this resistance being tested, looking to break above this resistance level. If we get a turnaround from weak to strong US dollar, sellers of pound, buyers of US will be looking down at this support level at the 133.67. US dollar against the yen. Yen unable to fight back against the US dollar. Very weak yen, strong US. The yield differential certainly contributing. I've got support at 160.21. I've got resistance at 160.53. Not much of a body for now. If I just scroll out, you will see how very tough this level is to break through. Third attempt at this level this year so far. Buyers unable to maintain at this level. Always the fear of Bank of Japan intervening at around the 160 mark, and that would lead to buying yen, selling US, and a sharp push lower, maybe holding buyers back at this point. Buyers will look to maintain, US dollar strength will look to maintain at this level. If we do see sellers of US, buyers of yen step in, they'll be looking to go below the 160 level. Narrow range for now. US dollar against the Canadian. Bank of Canada, as expected, kept rates unchanged, 2.25%. Right now, we're seeing this US Canadian pair trading within this range. I've got support at 139.23. I've got resistance at 139.56. Sellers of US, buyers of Canadian, that's weak US dollar, that would be looking to add to what we see so far to this red candlestick and test break below the support of 139.23. Look back down at that 139 level. If we see US dollar fighting back, which we are seeing on the majors, we saw it on the euro and the pound. If we see US dollar fighting back against the Canadian, buyers will look up at this 139.56 resistance level. a tough level for buyers. If I scroll back, there you can see unable. In April, buyers were unable to maintain a break above this level, and what followed was the sell-off. Now we're back up at that 139.50. Again, let's see if US dollar strength can get above this level. If we see US dollar weakness today, then sellers will be looking down at this support level. So what we've seen to start, we saw it on the index, weak US dollar to start. We saw it against the European majors as well. US dollar looking to fight its way back for now. We'll see whether that can continue. We have our relevant resistance and support levels all being tested to work with. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of day.